Didn't have the pit stop that he was looking for. Lost lead. Oh, we got Kyle Busch at round. I'd say the totally.
Oh,
no,
loose wheel.
Look.
Tires off of it here. Tires off of it. Back it down. Coming up front.
What an unbelievable start to this race with everything that has happened on pit road.
So the wheel was loose and apparently was rubbing against metal, and the metal just acted like the bit on a lathe and just sliced that wheel in half.
Those alloy wheels, aluminum wheels, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, and that wheel will start sliding around on that hub, and then, like you say, Mike, it cuts it in half, and this wheel just comes off the right rear tire.
NASCAR just dropped the hammer on two of its biggest stars. Kyle Busch and Chase Briscoe's teams are reeling after NASCAR handed down severe penalties that could derail their entire season. The safety violations from last weekend's Las Vegas race have cost both teams crucial personnel right as the season is heating up. And Kyle Busch's post-race interview said, "We're talking about suspensions that could change the trajectory of their entire season. When you lose key pit crew members, everything falls apart." Today we're talking about NASCAR's latest bombshell penalties and how they might just destroy the momentum for two championship-caliber teams. This isn't just about missing lug nuts, this is about the survival of their playoff hopes. It was lap 114 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway when disaster struck for Kyle Busch. The right rear wheel of his number 8 Richard Childress Racing Chevrolet suddenly detached, sending the two-time Cup Series champion into a dangerous spin. The wheel bounced dangerously across the track as Busch struggled to control his car. By the time the dust settled, Busch's day was effectively over. The damage from the incident required extensive repairs, plummeting Busch to a dismal 33rd place finish, a crushing 35 laps down from the leaders. For a driver already fighting for consistency this season, this was a devastating blow to his playoff chances. Meanwhile, Chase Briscoe's number 19 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota suffered a similar fate earlier in the race. On lap 33, during what should have been a routine green flag pit stop, Briscoe's left rear wheel came off as he was exiting pit road. Though he managed to recover and finish 17th on the lead lap, the damage was already done, and NASCAR was watching.
The number 19 Joe Gibbs Racing Team and the number 8 Richard Childress Racing Team were penalized for loose wheels that rolled off. Both drivers were held in their pit stalls for 2 laps. Briscoe finished in 17th place, while Busch took his car to the garage for repairs and finished 33rd. Briscoe's jackman, Caleb Dirks, and rear tire changer Daniel Smith received a 2-race suspension beginning this weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway.
The penalties explained. On Wednesday morning, NASCAR's weekly penalty report dropped like a bomb on both teams. The verdict? 4 crew members suspended for 2 races, 2 from each team. For Kyle Busch's team, Joseph Moser, jackman, suspended. Shiloh Windsor, rear tire changer, suspended. For Chase Briscoe's team, Caleb Dirks, jackman, suspended. Daniel Smith, rear tire changer, suspended. These aren't just minor penalties. Under sections 8.8.10.4a and c of the NASCAR rulebook, these safety violations are taken extremely seriously, and for good reason. A detached wheel becomes a dangerous projectile that can injure drivers, crew members, or even fans. To understand just how devastating these suspensions are, you need to understand the ballet that is a NASCAR pit stop. Every 1/10 of a second counts, and crews practice for hundreds of hours to perfect their timing and coordination. The jackman and rear tire changer are absolutely critical positions. The jackman controls when the car can be lowered and leave the pit box, while the rear tire changer must secure the wheel properly, the exact issue that caused these penalties. When you bring in substitute crew members, that split-second timing and chemistry built over years is instantly compromised. Studies have shown that teams with substitute pit crew members average 1.2 seconds slower per pit stop. That might not sound like much, but in NASCAR, that's the difference between gaining 5 positions and losing 10. The replacements. Both teams have scrambled to find adequate replacements for this weekend's race at Homestead Miami Speedway. For Busch's team, Christopher Jackson will step in as rear tire changer. Garrett Krall will take over as jackman. For Briscoe's team, Adam Riley will serve as rear tire changer. Nathan McBride will fill in as jackman. These aren't random picks. They're experienced crew members from other NASCAR Series teams. Jackson has worked with the number 99 Viking Motorsports team in the Xfinity Series, while Crawl comes from the number 5R Motorsports crew. Riley and McBride both have experience with Front Row Motorsports number 4 team. But experience doesn't equal chemistry, and that's where both teams will struggle. Here's the condensed section as a separate piece. Since introducing single lug wheels in 2022, NASCAR has consistently penalized teams for violations. The impact is measurable. Teams like Cowlig Racing and 2311 Racing saw performance drops averaging 4+ positions and slower pit stops when using substitute crew members. 5 races into 2025, both drivers are vulnerable. Busch sits 17th in points, just outside playoff contention, while Briscoe holds the 14th position. Timing is critical as Homestead's abrasive surface demands multiple pit stops, creating multiple opportunities for mistakes. One team escaped similar fate, Christopher Bell's number 20 crew. When Bell left his pit box with a loose wheel, crew chief Adam Stevens quickly directed him to a teammate's stall to secure it before exiting pit road. This quick thinking prevented identical penalties. Both teams must now rely on veteran crew chiefs Randall Burnett, Busch, and James Small, Briscoe, to manage these challenging transitions over the next 2 races and minimize the damage to their playoff hopes. Beyond wheel violations, NASCAR handed out multiple fines across its series last weekend. 4 Xfinity teams, Cowlig Racing, number 11, Joe Gibbs Racing, number 19, Sam Hunt Racing, number 26, and JR Motorsports, number 88, each received significant $5,000 fines for loose lug nuts discovered during post-race inspections. In the Truck Series, the number 07 Spire Motorsports team faced a similar $2,500 penalty for an unsecured wheel fastener, underscoring NASCAR's commitment to safety enforcement across all competition levels. Most seriously, NASCAR indefinitely suspended 2 crew members for substance abuse policy violations. RFK Racing's Josiah Wright, who served as Brad Keselowski's rear tire changer, and Mike Harmon Racing's Corbin Sklenner, who worked as jackman. These suspensions highlight the sport's zero-tolerance approach to its substance policies and add to the mounting personnel challenges teams face heading into critical races. The wheel-related suspensions for Busch and Briscoe cover 2 challenging events, Homestead, Miami this weekend and Martinsville the following week. These tracks couldn't present more contrasting challenges. Homestead's 1.5-mile oval with progressive banking demands precision on long runs and tire management, while Martinsville's tight half-mile paperclip configuration requires exceptional brake modulation, patience, and short-run speed. Both venues necessitate multiple pit stops where these crew changes will be most noticeable and potentially costly. Busch brings an impressive track record to both venues with 3 Homestead victories, 2015, 2019, 2023, and 2 Martinsville grandfather clocks, 2016, 2021, while Briscoe still hunts for his first Cup Series triumph at either challenging facility. These penalties reflect NASCAR's intensified safety stance following Ryan Newman's frightening Daytona crash in 2020 and subsequent next-gen car implementation. The single lug design was introduced to enhance safety and efficiency, but created a steeper learning curve for crews previously accustomed to the traditional 5-lug pattern. When properly secured, these wheels provide superior performance and safety, but when mistakes occur, the consequences are swift and severe. As Busch and Briscoe prepare for Homestead this weekend, both drivers face formidable challenges that could reshape their seasons. Can they overcome these crucial personnel losses and salvage their playoff hopes, or will these next 2 races expose fundamental weaknesses in their championship aspirations? Both competitors have conquered adversity before. Busch famously secured the 2015 championship despite missing 11 races due to serious injuries sustained at Daytona. Briscoe demonstrated remarkable resilience by capturing 3 victories in 2022 while managing personal challenges away from the track. However, these penalties present a unique obstacle, one that disrupts the entire team dynamic at a pivotal moment in the season. With playoff qualification hanging in the balance and every point potentially decisive, these next 2 weekends could determine whether these teams recover effectively or if NASCAR's punishment will destroy their championship dreams entirely.